Welcome back to the Rockford IceHogs Broadcasting Network. Joseph Zakshesky with you alongside forward Lance Bouma is ahead of Game 1 action between the IceHogs and the Manitoba Moose here in the Central Division Finals. And Lance, walk us through these final preparations for this group. I know you've had a full week of practice, a lot of downtime, in fact, over a week since you last saw your last game. But, I mean, how is the mood in the locker room getting ready against this next best-of-7 round series?
I think everyone's just excited to get going, obviously. It's a fun time to be playing hockey, and everyone's looking forward to this Game 1 tonight. We know that it's going to be a tough test for us, and everyone's just excited for the challenge.
What are you taking away from the first-round series, that best-of-5, in which you ended up sweeping the Chicago Wolves? But it was a battle, especially that last game, triple overtime, well-documented. But what are you looking to have carry over into this series?
I think we played a pretty decent series the whole way around. I think, obviously, it's important to get out a good start in all these series, and we did that last series, and we got to make sure we do that again tonight. It's going to be a huge test. Like I said, it's a lot different team than the last time we played here, and it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of guys.
You mentioned the excitement in the locker room, but how much is emotional control going to play a role into this one? I know it was a major key in that Chicago series, and it looks like Manitoba isn't afraid to shy away from being physical and showing a little excitement of their own.
Yeah, I think everyone's expecting a physical series, and obviously those are fun games to play in. But obviously we got to play on that line and make sure we're not taking undisciplined penalties, and because they have a great power play over there as well. So it's a fine line to play on, but it's also a fun line for sure.
It took a little while to figure out who you were going to play in the next round. It eventually came on Monday night, a couple of practices since. What's been the focus in practice, X's and O's wise, in preparation for this team? You mentioned that they've had some changes since the last time they saw them.
Yeah, I think they obviously play a little bit different system than the last time we saw them too, and we've just been working on that in practice and just trying to make sure everything's sharp with our game, and everyone knows what their jobs are out there, and just everyone's excited. So it's gonna be fun.
And for you, bringing in the emotional support for this Rockford IceHogs group, a veteran presence in that locker room. There's a lot of guys experiencing their first postseasons, but to manage your excitement, to manage their excitement, I mean, how do you keep that balance in checks?
I think the excitement's great. I think you got to have that at this time of year when you're playing. So just making sure that you're calm and making sure you're not over that line. It's good to be on that line, but just make sure you don't cross it.
Head coach Jeremy Colliton mentioned that the first game, like tonight, Game 1, will be determined in terms of how the teams match up in the first 10 minutes or so. What are your expectations going into those first 10 minutes and how to balance that?
Well, I think obviously they're going to come out hard. They're in their home building here, and obviously they're a physical team. So we got to be ready for that and ready for a push early, and we got to make sure we match that or even try to take it to them and not sit back at all.
Lance, I appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Forward Lance Bouma joining us here on the Rockford IceHogs Broadcasting Network ahead of Game 1 action. The IceHogs paying a visit to the Manitoba Moose. You're listening and watching Rockford IceHogs Hockey on the IceHogs Broadcast Network.